Okay, this is you, the official interview. We're here with Jesse. Hi, Jesse.
Hey,
Hi, how's your day going?
my day's been pretty good. Can't complain. It's a good Monday.
That's good to hear. Yeah, would you like to give a self-introduction?
Yeah, sure thing. So, name's Jesse. I'm 28 years old. Currently married. Got a little 10-week-year-old baby too. True Kiwi, born and bred here. Lived here my whole life, apart from a couple of trips overseas, which I feel very blessed to have done. Grew up north at a little beach called Patau. I only moved to the Big Smoke in Auckland when I started uni and haven't moved back ever since. Currently working at Young and Shand in advertising and loving it.
That's great, and thank you. And right now we go to the questions. The first question would be, if you are to summarize New Zealand in 3 words, what would they be?
Okay, so the 3 words I quickly wrote down was pure, innovation and friendly. So what I mean by pure, I guess when I think of New Zealand, I think of the classic New Zealand tourism ads, and it's about a beautiful country, but also when I think of pure, I think about almost like a childlikeness, that as a nation we're quite pure. Innovation is because we're a country that's all about pioneering and starting fresh and creating. So when I think of New Zealand, I think about all the great products and the great innovators as people. And then the last one was friendly, and that's purely from growing up north, even moving to Auckland. We're a country that loves people, and we're a country that's happy to help and get stuck behind others, and I love that about New Zealand.
That's great. That's really good to hear. I'm wondering, if you were to summarize what New Zealand should be in 3 words, what would they be?
So if I was to summarise what New Zealand should be, I would still stick with pure, I'd still stick with innovation. I think the third one that I'd like to see is more around fresh starts, and that's, I guess as a history, New Zealand's been a place that people can come to have a fresh start, that whole pioneering spirit. But if we could be a nation that just fosters the ability for people to try, because trying helps, I guess, drive innovation and us moving forward and being successful, and we can't be afraid of making mistakes, because as you make mistakes you learn more and you move forward. Yeah.
That's great. So I'm wondering, given what you have said, is there any kiwi or celebrity that would stand up for what you have just said?
Yep, there's 2. The first one would be Egmont Hillary, because he was obviously first one to climb Mount Everest to the top, and I felt he's such a humble man as well. The other one who's probably more new would be Lorde, and the reason I pick her is because she's got a fresh sound. What I love is when you look at the world stage, and even celebrities being interviewed, it's almost like all of them are trying to jump on the bandwagon and claim that they knew her right before everybody else knew her, so it's almost like they helped her with her fame. And it just seems with the interviews that she has that she knows what she wants, but it's not like she's blowing her own trumpet. She's not too proud. She's got a bit of humility there as well. I think there was an interview recently where she came out and said that she was in a situation where someone mistaken her as Taylor Swift's manager, yet she just played along. Like many celebrities would just totally flip out at that and be like, do you know who I am? So I like it that someone can be successful yet confident in themselves, so they're not threatened.
Oh, that's great. So if you were to come back to New Zealand, say in 2050, what would you expect or hope to see that New Zealand has become, or changed, or stayed the same?
I think continuing on the same. So I guess what I'd like to see is New Zealand being, I guess, a nation of firsts. So a country where, rather than trying to copy everyone else, we're truly striving to be number one or the first.
Thank you, that's great. So given what you have just said, is there any New Zealand company or organization at all that sums up what you think New Zealand should be?
Probably sound quite funny. The first one that pops to mind, just for a little example, would be in New Zealand. And the reason I picked that is not because it's got New Zealand in the name, but what I love about them is they're obviously an airline carrier, nothing new. There's many of them around the world and they've all got their country tagged on it. But what they've managed to achieve is something that's truly unique, which is their in-flight videos.
Yes.
And I guess, it's got a bit of a world following.
Yes,
People know them for that. And so what they've managed to do is take something that's mundane that everybody does and turn it into something that's new and exciting. And they're in a unique position that if someone else did the same, they'll be seen as copying.
Yes, I really love the answer. Thank you. So right now I would like you to close your eyes for a moment.
Okay.
So could you please tell me what images come to your mind when you hear the phrase New Zealand's future?
I kind of get a picture of almost like a sunrise at a classic Kiwi East Coast beach, possibly because that's where I grew up, but it kind of makes me think of new beginnings, and I guess a beach for many New Zealanders is a place where you can go and clear your head.
Yeah, thank you. So here comes a relatively giant question.
Yeah.
What do you think the idea would be that unites humanity?
That's a massive one because I think there's so many ideas that could all contribute to that. I think one of them that we could all work on is authenticity. I think if people were transparent and I guess they put it all out on the table and we're genuine, we would be able to work together.
Yes.
It's like, the age old, not pretending to care for someone or pretending to be someone. It's being who you are and really caring about people is how we'll all succeed, rather than what's in it for me. And you can't really truly get that unless you're authentic and genuine.
Wow, that's really refreshing. Thank you. So for the next question, I would like you to think really selfishly. How do you think this Eudoo project, would be useful for you? We're interviewing 100 people this year and 1,000 people next year. So how would you think they would be useful for you? Just think selfishly.
Okay, I think what's going to be useful for me is probably following the interviews, having a watch, and then collectively with, I guess, the whole project will provide a bit of a springboard. So I guess to encourage people to think outside the square, be open-minded, see other people's viewpoints, and in doing that, I think that will help us all grow. Provide some inspiration so that we can all be innovators, really.
Yes, and thank you. So here comes the one final question. So, is there any specific person or type of people that you would like to see us interview in the future? Right now we've got Lorde and Junkie, of course, and we've got celebrities, we've got like small children in poor areas, we've got Asian Kiwis, we've got well-traveled people. So is there any one that you would like to see us interview?
Probably more of what's already been said, but in addition to that, maybe senior elderly, from the fact that they've got so much life experience and they've probably seen a bit more of how we've grown and opportunities for the future.
Yes, we're definitely going after them.
Yeah.
And well, that's it. And thank you.
No worries.